Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Yam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shivatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhayascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshitarine. So welcome everyone to the morning Bhagavatam discussion or reading. Today we are going to read from second canto chapter 10 verse number 46 to 10:46. So I'll share my screen. I'll read the verse, synonyms, translation, purport, and then we'll do briefly discuss. Ayam tu brahmana kalpaha savi kalpa udahritaha vidhi sadharano yatra sarga prakrita vaikritaha. Ayam tu brahmana kalpaha savi kalpa udahritaha vidhi sadharano yatra sarga prakrita vaikritaha. Synonyms or word-to-word meanings. Ayam, this process of creation and annihilation, too, but Brahmana of Brahma, Kalpa, his one day, Savikalpa, along with the duration of the universes, Udahrita, exemplified, Vidhi, regulative principles, Sadharana, in summary, Yatra, wherein, Sarga, creation, Prakrita, in the matter of material nature, Vaikritaha, disbursement. Translation. This process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein in the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. Sorry, I'll read again. This process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of Mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. There are three different types of creation called Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. In the Mahakalpa, the Lord assumes the first Purusha incarnation as Karanodakasai Vishnu, with all the potencies of the Mahat Tattva and the 16 principles of creative matter and instruments. The creative instruments are 11, the ingredients are 5, and all of them are the products of Mahat or materialistic ego. These creations by the Lord in his feature of Karanodakasai Vishnu are called Mahakalpa. The creation of Brahma and dispersion of the material ingredients are called Vikalpa, and the creation of Brahma in each day of his life is called Kalpa. Therefore, each day of Brahma is called a Kalpa, and there are 30 Kalpas in terms of Brahma's days. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 8.17 as follows. Sahasra Yoga Paryantam Ahar Yad Brahmano Vidu Ratrim yuga sahasrantam te aho ratra vidho janaha. In the upper planetary system, the duration of one complete day and night is equal to one complete year on this earth. This is accepted even by the modern scientists and attested by the astronauts. Similarly, in the region of still higher planetary systems, the duration of day and night is still greater than in the heavenly planets. The four yugas are calculated in terms of the heavenly calendars and accordingly are 12,000 years in terms of heavenly planets. This is called a Divya Yug, and 1,000 Divya Yugs make one day of Brahma. The creation during the day of Brahma is called Kalpa, and the creation of Brahma is called Vikalpa. When Vikalpas are made possible by the breathing of Mahavishnu, this is called Mahakalpa. There are regular and systematic cycles of these Mahakalpas, Vikalpas, and Kalpas. In answer to Maharaj Parikshit's question about them, Shukadev Goswami answered in the Prabhasa Khanda of the Skanda Puran as follows. Pratama Shveta Kalpascha Dvitiyo Nila Lohita Vamadevas Tritiyastu Tato Gathantaro Aparaha. So like that, there are different kalpas mentioned. I won't read all of them. I'll go straight to the translation. Therefore, the 30 kalpas of Brahma are 1. Shveta Kalpa 2. Nila Lohita 3. Vama Deva 4. Gathantara 5. Raurava 6. Prana 7. Brihat Kalpa 8. Kandarpa 9. Sadyotha 10. Ishana 11. Dhyana 12. Saraswata 13. Udana 14. Garuda 15. Kaurma 16. Narasimha 17. Samadhi 18. Agneya 19. Vishnuja 20. Saura 21. Somakalpa 22. Bhavana 23. Supuma 24. Vaikuntha 25. Archisha 26. Valikalpa 27. Vairaja 28. Gaurikalpa 29. Maheshwara 30. Petra Kalpa. These are Brahma's days only, and he has to live months and years up to 100. So we can just imagine how many creations there are in kalpas only. Then again, there are vikalpas, which are generated by the breathing of Mahavishnu, as stated in Brahma Samhita. Yasyaika nishvasita kalam atha valambya jivanti loma vilaja Jagadananda Natha. The Brahmas live only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu. So the exhaling and inhaling of Vishnu are Mahakalpas. And all these are due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for no one else is the master of all creations. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadadi Swapadantikam. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Okay, so we see this is quite a technical verse in the sense that in this particular chapter, Shukadev Goswami is explaining the creation of the material universe, and this is towards the end. He's kind of concluding and saying that this process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of Mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed. And then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada goes and explains the whole cyclic, the cyclic nature of time, how the time is divided and how the time is explained in terms of the Vedic scriptures. And this can only be got from the Vedic scriptures, because who can explain time which is bigger than, which is longer than our living span? Only someone who lives beyond that. For example, if the demigods or the devatas in the higher planetary system, they live much longer. They live, let's say, millions of years. So they can watch the times that the different yuga cycles are going. But what Prabhupada explains is that even their time period is small in compared to even higher planetary systems. And the highest planetary system is Lord Brahma's Loka. And according to Lord Brahma, he is seeing even the devatas, the times of devatas, as very tiny. So if we can imagine Lord Brahma seeing from his abode, he's seeing the time going very fast. Whereas for us, it's like, okay, it's years and years, and it's taking, we live 100 years, but, and there are these yuga cycles, 4.32 million years, and then, one Kali Yuga is 432,000, and the yuga cycle is 4.32 million years. And then there are thousands such which make up 4.32 billion years, and that is one day of Brahma, and such is one night of Brahma. So total 4.32 billion plus another 4.32 billion, that is 8.64 billion years, is day and night of Brahma. And like that, Prabhupada is saying that he lives, that's one day. Like that, he lives for 100 such years. Now, the explanation of this Vedic cycle is mentioned in the Vedas, in the scriptures, and I will share my screen once again to show that these yuga cycles are there, and Prabhupada mentions these divine years in the purport. So the cycles are in terms of divine years, meaning in terms of demigod years, and they are, the Satya Yuga is 4,000 divine years, the Treta Yuga is 3,000 divine years, the Dwapar Yuga is 2,000 divine years, and the Kali Yuga is 1,000 divine years. And these the Devata years are also followed by Sandhya. There is a pre-Sandhya and there is a post-Sandhya after each Yuga cycle. So if we add all of these together, 4,000, 3,000, it comes to 10,000. And if we add the other Sandhya cycles, that's another 2,000. So that's total 12,000 Divya Yuga. Now each divine year, or sorry, not Divya Yuga, Divya years. Now each divine year is equal to 360 human years. So if we calculate, then 12,000 times 360 is 4.32 million human years, and that is equal to one yuga cycle, which makes up one Mahayuga, or one yuga cycle, which is a total of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga, total of 4.32 million years. And such Mahayugas, there are total 71, makes up one Manvantara. And there are 1,000 such yuga cycles which make up one kalpa. So if we see that there are 14, if we divide 1,000 by 71, it comes to 14, and it comes to 994 Mahayugas, and the 6 other Mahayugas are the Sandhikals. So that makes up total of 1,000 Mahayugas. So anyways, I'll stop this. But basically, this is the calculation of the time. Now, the time that we have, the scientific time that we have, we can see how repeatable these cycles are. And in our cycles, we have seconds, minutes, hours, days, month, seasons. So these are okay. And then years. But the year also is beyond the year. What else do we have? The higher cycles. We can say we have decade, which is 10 years, maybe century, which is 100 years, and then millennium, which is 1,000 years. So, but these are not really repeatable. So, for example, if we see the repetition, the seasons, we can predict, okay, December, it will be cold. And then when spring comes, March, April comes, it will be spring and the weather will be pleasant, warm. June, July. So those are repeatable. But beyond the years, like decades, there is no predictable repetition. We cannot say that after 10 years, such and such thing will definitely be there. Or after 100 years, century, such and such things will definitely be there. But in the Vedic cycle, we can see that these repetitions, these higher Vedic times are repetitions, meaning like when the Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapar, Kali ends, then again Satya Yuga, and then the same symptoms of Satya Yuga begins. And then when Treta Yuga comes, the same symptoms of the Treta Yuga begins. Kali Yuga, symptoms of Kali Yuga begin. So it's repetition. And then still higher, the Manvantara, there's a when the Manvantara cycle begins, or when a new Manu comes in a Manvantara cycle, there is a repetition and symptoms are there. Similarly, Kalpa, there are repetitions are there. And Prabhupada says that it goes all the way to one second, let me hide. Okay. He goes to say that there are Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. So these repetition go all the way up to Lord Brahma's time. So when Brahma wakes up after his night and he starts another Kalpa, the symptoms are there. And then there are these Mahakalpas. So it goes even beyond Lord Brahma when or sorry, Vikalpa and Mahakalpa, when the breathing of Mahavishnu, the different universes come in. So these repetition cycles are so huge that it's beyond our thinking capacity. And who can give these types of repetitions? Only someone who is beyond these cycles. Like I said before, the demigods can see the repetition cycles of the human beings on planet Earth. Humans can see the repetition cycles of, let's say, some smaller times like days and hours and seconds and seasons. We can see them. But these higher cycles, we cannot watch, we cannot observe because we don't live long enough. So like that, who can see beyond Lord Brahma? Unless it is mentioned in the scriptures, unless the Lord, who is eternal, who is spiritual in nature, beyond the material creation, gives this information, it would not be possible. So that is the beauty of the scriptures and the Vedic time. Now here, there are some more details. in the Krama Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami mentions these 30 days of Lord Brahma. The Shweta Kalpa, Nila Lohita, Vamandev, Gathantara, Raurava, etc. So these 30 kalpas, or these 30 days of Lord Brahma, are his 1 month. And then his next month begins, and these 30 kalpas again repeat. And these 30 kalpas are, the names of these 30 kalpas are given by the primary incarnation of the Lord that takes place in that kalpa. So we can see that again there's a clear repetition. When 1 month begins, the second month begins. So these months are there. One, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 30, these his days are Shweta Kalpa, Nila Lohita day, Vaman day. Okay, now tomorrow Lord Brahma will think that, okay, so tomorrow is going to be, he will look at his calendar and say that tomorrow it's going to be Gathantara. Then next day it will be Raurava. So that's his calendar, and that repeats 30 days. Like that, there are 12 months, and like that, he lives for 1 year. Sorry, it's Brahma's 1 year. And then like that, he lives for 100 years, which if we calculate, Prabhupada has calculated, I have also calculated, it comes to 311 trillion years plus. So that is the Vedic, the beauty of the Vedic cycle and the beauty of the Vedic scriptures. The knowledge that we get from these scriptures is beyond what we can think of, beyond what the science can produce, because science is ultimately given by humans, and humans have limited time span. Even if we see higher living entities, they also have limited time span. So that's the purport of Srila Prabhupada, and he ends the purport by saying that he's talking about the different Brahmas in different universes. The Brahmas, he's stating plural, meaning the different Brahmas in different universes. The Brahmas live only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu. So the exhaling and inhaling of Vishnu are Mahakalpas, and all these are due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for no one else is the master of all creations. And it's a significant statement if you think about it, that Brahma lives for the breathing period of Mahavishnu. Now, if we see our breathing period, it's like one breathing period is like maybe 1 second or something like that. And if in that 1 second, somebody is living, some creature, small insect or something, lives only 1 second. In that 1 second, that insect would complete all the 6 stages of life: birth, grow up, maintain, dwindle, and die. So Brahma is living for just one breathing period of Mahavishnu. And Brahma's lifespan seems so big to us. So we can just imagine what is our position in terms of living and everything else. So I'll stop here. So quickly summarizing this. This verse is a summary of the chapter 10 in the second canto Srimad Bhagavatam, where Shukadev Goswami is explaining the creative process, how the different elements are coming, how the sensory organs and senses are coming, how the activities are taking place, or how the activities begin, and everything is related to the Supreme Lord. When the Supreme Lord desires to do different things come into the motion, and that's the principle behind it. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada goes ahead and explains the different cycles of the Vedic cycles, how one cycle is greater than the other as we keep going up and up and up in the upper planetary system, ultimately ending in Lord Brahma's cycle. But he also explains cycle beyond Lord Brahma or beyond the universe cycles, which we discussed. And we also discussed the 30 days described here in the purport. These are the 30 days in a month of Lord Brahma. And ultimately, if it were not for the scriptures given by the Supreme Lord, given by someone who is beyond these material worlds, it would not be possible for anyone to write these things. So I'll stop here and see if there are any discussions. If not, we can stop here. Yeah, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much for joining. Have a good rest of the day. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I don't know if anybody has anything to say.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances, all Gauriya Gurumara and Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu. Very, very interesting class. Prabhu, like I have a question that the time is relative, right? It's not fixed. Like upper planetary system has a higher duration compared to lower planetary system. So does it mean that the heaven has a time that is longer than the earth, and hell has a shorter time compared to earth? Is that understanding correct, or am I missing something here?
Yes, Prabhu, that's my understanding, and that's what Prabhupada explains in the purport also. So the demigods, 1 day, 6 months is like 1 day here. There one year is 1 day and night of the, sorry, there 1 day and night is equal to 1 year of the human years. And still longer time is for higher planetary system, like Lord Brahma.
So the hellish planets are technically below the earth realm, Prabhu. Is that the?
Yeah. So that's
so in
also
that way they have a shorter time span, right, comparatively?
Yes, and I've heard different things about the hellish planets. They exist only in the mind, but physical bodies do exist, or they don't exist. But the time period is very short, so the living entity in the hellish planets, they feel like they have been going through these hellish conditions for a very long time. But when we see from our time perspective, it's very short, and that's the mercy of the Lord, that he makes everything change the mentality of the person. The purpose of hellish planets is to change the mentality of a person. Like when things don't work, the last resort is punishment, and that punishment is like parents punishing the child. Lockout, time out for 5 minutes. But it's out of love. Right.
Understood. So it's an inverted triangle for the time perspective, right? So from the planetary system.
Yeah.
It's inverted triangle. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, I see hand Megha Mataji, yes.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Please accept mine too. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
So yeah, Prabhuji, I just didn't know what to say. With my Kali Yuga intelligence, I'm still not able to understand this technical aspect of this time. I just know, overall theoretically that it's a very long time and everything, but I wanted to appreciate how you explained that, just to prove that, the Lord has written this to someone who may ask, like, the person wrote this thing. It's a very good point that you made, that only a person who has lived over those years, or who's seen everything, is able to write that. So I just wanted to give my appreciation for that, aspect, because I know a lot of people have ask such questions that, you know, a person wrote this. Even when we say Srila Vyas, they wrote this, you know, they just don't understand. So having this point, it was very, very great to help someone understand that and at least have a little light bulb go in their head. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. In fact, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that scientists also agree, and they have proved also, as including astronauts, that time is relative. As we go higher up, it's bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept mine too. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, wonderful class, wonderful topic. Actually, my attention was drawn to the question that Sachisuta Prabhu asked. So, if hellish planets are below and they have lower duration, we know that Bali Maharaj was pushed into Patala Loka, and the Lord is actually accompanying him by guarding his palace. And it is said that he's still alive and he's still being guarded.
Sutal Loka, not Patal Loka.
Sutala.
Sutal, yeah.
Okay. But it is still below the Earth planet,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
The planetary systems. So if that's the case, how come, you know, Bali Maharaj is still continuing to live when life duration should have been shorter than what it is on the earthly realms?
Yeah, so the cyclical time is short or long, and it is relative. So he will live until the end of this Manvantara. So just like here, even though our lives are 100 years maximum, right? But we know that there are living entities who live longer, even in this here. For example, Prabhupada met someone in the Megha, that thing that happens during once in 12 years.
Okay, Mahakumbh.
Kumbh Mela, yeah. So one person came and said that he was 700 years old, and Prabhupada actually accepted it, that yes, he was 700 years old. We also know that Hanuman is living, and he will live for this whole duration of 432,000 years. And then like that, in the 8th and 9th canto, there are Chiranjeevis and others mentioned who are living on the planet Earth, even though so like that, time is relative. And even though what we think that we have 100 years, 70 years, but for someone who has a longer life, even in these conditions, they can live longer.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. That helps. Wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And Prabhu, Bali Maharaj is also a Chiranjeevi, right, Prabhu?
I don't know. I think that word Chiranjeevi is used only for Earth, and it has some specific technical meanings or details. I don't know whether it's applicable on other planets also.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here.
Thank you. There are some comments.
Questions or comments?
No. We need to listen it again and understand.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.